Game time, put me in, coach. Today we are talking about Chris Broussard responding to LeBron James's tweet about people hating on the Lakers. This is one of those situations, one of those conversations where Kevin Durant screams to the media, "You don't know basketball," because guys like Chris Broussard can't just say when they're wrong. They have to change the narrative. But here I have 7 reasons as to why I disagree with what Chris Broussard said. But before we get into that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, because here you're going to get reaction, you're going to get commentary, and you're going to most importantly get basketball knowledge. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's dive right into this video. So the number one thing we got to start with, which is keep that same energy. Broussard has already not kept the same energy, because he started off just as most analysts started off saying, "This is not going to work. You should not trade for Russell Westbrook. This is going to be a disaster. This is terrible. This will be the worst thing that could happen." Now the trade's happened. The trade happened, right? So now that the trade happened, now they got to find something else to say. "Well, I don't think it's not going to work because LeBron needs the ball in his hands to be successful, and Russell Westbrook, he needs the ball in his hands to be successful." That's true. But what you're overlooking is LeBron did this with D-Wade. D-Wade and Russell Westbrook are very similar. The difference is Russell Westbrook is Mr. Triple-Double, and D-Wade was a little bit better. I'm going to say he was a better defender than Russell Westbrook, but the same skill set, right? They both kind of play out of control. They both score. They both keep their teammates involved. They don't cheat you with energy, right? Okay, now Russell Westbrook has made this work. He made it work with Kevin Durant. Granted, it was a different playing style, but let's see what happened when he played with James Harden, the beard. He played with the beard. I want you guys to understand something here. This is very, very key, because again, Kevin Durant keeps screaming to these guys, "You don't know basketball." First of all, D'Antoni got rid of all of the centers, all of them. They still went to the playoffs. Russell still put up his numbers, and they got out of the first round of the playoffs. That's success, because who did they run into? They ran into the Lakers, who had Anthony Davis, JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, 3 big men. So D'Antoni was the one who messed the team up by getting rid of all of the centers, and they ended up losing to a team who had some dominant centers. So keeping that same energy, they're not going to do that, because I already see a lot of them already changing, already switching over to, "Oh man, the Lakers are now the favorite." So they're not going to keep that same energy. Broussard said, number 2 is Broussard said LeBron James has to play on an MVP level, right? And then he had a back and forth. Here's the thing about LeBron James. LeBron James is going to be LeBron James. That means he's going to play on that level, because that's who he's been this entire time. Right? LeBron James has always been in the MVP discussion, but the MVP is a trophy that moves around. They don't continuously give it to the same guys. Now, they may give it to a guy back to back, but he's not going to get it 3, 4, 5 times in a row. That's not going to happen. So, therefore, playing for the MVP or playing to be the MVP, no, LeBron just has to play. He just has to be LeBron. Trust me, that's good enough. He's been to the finals 10 times, okay? 10 times. And like I said before, when I told them to keep that same energy, number 3 is actually the hating on the Lakers that LeBron is talking about, right? Saying this is terrible, saying this will be a disaster, saying that these guys don't fit, these guys are old, right? That, you know, this is the Senior Citizens Club, this is the Golden Boys, right? You know, the Golden Girls is a TV show where it was about a bunch of old women, right, going around living life, doing whatever it is that they do. But the highlight of the show is that it's old women. So that is disrespectful. They're talking about injuries. They're talking about guys who can't shoot. And yes, they're true. Here's the thing about those guys being old. These are guys who actually take care of themselves. Look at Dwight Howard. You can see the discipline in his body, right? He needs discipline in his mind to not take dumbass fouls. But outside of that, you can see the discipline in his body. Look at Luka Doncic. He's clearly not as disciplined as you want him to be, because if he was, he would be in better shape. Number 4 is coaching. So when these guys are saying, oh, it's not going to fit, that's on the coach, right? The coach has to set up the style of play. Are we going to run and gun? Are we going to ISO? Are we going to set up a half-court offense? Are we going to do all of those things? As a matter of fact, what the coach should be more concerned with is, how can we get the best out of LeBron? How can we get the best out of AD? How can we get the best out of Russell Westbrook? And oh my gosh, wait a minute, I got Carmelo. And Carmelo, if you guys have been paying attention, he's been in the gym working on his jump shot lately. And one video I saw about Carmelo, hey, he didn't miss. That's hard to say, right? Because we talked about the video of Steph Curry hitting like 100 and some threes from the corner. Well, guess what? I seen a video similar with Carmelo, and I don't know if it was 100, but you know, it was Carmelo's getting ready. Carmelo won his ring, okay? So Carmelo, I hope we get the Olympic Carmelo. But again, the point that I'm making is this comes down to coaching. Do the guys buy into what the coach is saying? Because guess what? When a timeout is called, the coach has to draw up a play. So that means the other role players have to understand, am I setting the screen? Am I setting the screen, or am I coming off the screen? Guys have to know where they are and what they're supposed to be doing. It's called roles. And all of these guys that are on this team, they must understand LeBron has been to the NBA Finals 10 times. That's more than a majority of the NBA franchises, right? He's won 4 times, 4 NBA Finals. So if anybody should be listening to LeBron, it should be the entire team. The entire team, all of the role players, because they have not been in the same position as LeBron. So once again, talking about coaching, it should be about fit, figuring out, and this is for the coach. This is the coach's job to figure out how to get the best out of every single player on their team. Number 5, right? They keep talking about shooting. Shooting is overrated. You need the skill, yes, but worrying about your shooting percentage while you're in the game would not help you. You must focus on scoring. You must focus on scoring the ball. That's what's important. Shooting, okay, we want you to be able to shoot, and you should be able to shoot, especially if you've made it to the professional level. But don't get it twisted, because let me give you guys a few examples of some amazing shooters that did not be in the NBA Finals, that were not in the NBA Finals. Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. Damian Lillard, those guys were not in the NBA Finals this year. So I could go on and on and on about more players who have great shooting percentages, but guess where they were? They were at home or on vacation while guys were playing in the NBA Finals. So don't get caught up in the he can't shoot because he can. He just has to realize, get under control, and shoot a controlled jump shot. Because guess what? They're not going to respect Russ' jump shot anyway. So Russ, work on your jump shot, bro. Work on your jump shot. Get that flick out your elbow, and your shot will go in more. Your form not broke. Oh my gosh, the next thing is talking about injuries. Number 6, injuries, right? So they're talking about old guys. Well, you know, old guys, these old guys, man, old guys, right? Old guys are not the only ones getting injured. In fact, there's an entire list of guys who are not old, but their seasons were cut short or they had to miss some time, right? So we can start and we can go as young as Joel Embiid, or Jamal Murray, or Donovan Mitchell, who got hurt at the end of the season, right? We could talk about Jonathan Isaac for the Orlando Magic, who's a forward who can't stay on the court, right? But because of his physical tools, they don't want to give him up, because if he can get right, he's going to be a hell of a player because of his height and what he can do with that height and with those tools. Now, That's all I got to say about the injuries part and the old versus the young guys part. Usually the old guys are going to make sure they manage their bodies better, right? So I get it. It is an old team and that is a concern. But guess what? If the guy gets hurt, what is the team going to do? They're going to go get another guy, put him on a 10-day contract, see what he does, and then you have to just plug and play. This Lakers championship team has more than enough firepower. I'll name the names for you just in case you guys don't know. Russell Westbrook, Mr. Triple-Double himself. LeBron James, been to the finals 10 times. He got 4 championships, okay? Then you got Anthony Davis, one of the best power forwards in the league because he's a great all-around player, right? He's not a guy who has one exceptional skill. He is a total package type of player. That's why he's not that exciting to watch. Or when you see, you're like, dang, he had 43. How did he have 43? Well, he scored on all of the easy stuff, right? The rebounds, the energy, the effort plays, right? That's how AD is scoring his points, which means you don't really have to run a play for him. But if you do run a play for him, guess what? Jab, boom, get him off, hit the shot. Number 7, dominance, right? The Miami Heat went to the NBA Finals all 4 years LeBron was there. If that's not dominant, what is? In fact, how many times have the Miami Heat been to the finals before LeBron James got there? Or let's just say in the Heat's history, how many times have they been to the NBA Finals? They went all 4 times that he was there. That is dominance. Then he went back to Cleveland and he went to the finals again, right? So what is being talked about is kind of funny. But again, this is why Kevin Durant tells these guys they don't know basketball. And all Broussard really had to say was, my bad, I was wrong. But hold on, wait a minute. Let's see. Let's see how it works. But instead, he'd rather say stuff like, I would pick the field over the Lakers. But if you put a gun up to my head, wait a minute, Broussard. I know that was a joke, but no one needs to put a gun to your head to get you to realize that the Lakers are now the favorites. But it's because of LeBron, Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis. Okay? That's the reason why the Lakers are the favorites. Yes, the favorites over the Brooklyn Nets because the Brooklyn Nets, they shoot a lot of jump shots. They're going to have a problem with the Miami Heat. Yes, you heard it here first. The Nets will have a problem. If everybody's healthy, they will have a problem with the Miami Heat. Guarantee you that. So, thank y'all for tuning in. If you made it this far through this long video, like the video, share this video because we talked basketball here. Your NBA, your basketball knowledge has just increased from watching this video. Thank you. Peace.